What is going on, guys? DBG, and today we're going to look at the state of NBA 2k23 MyTEAM 1 month in. So we're going to be looking at this basically. I'm going to be looking probably at the end of like season 2. I'm going to be doing one of these recaps every single season. Obviously, we're coming at towards the very end of season 1. I don't think anything really changes, so it's the same difference. Obviously, we're getting Cade Cunningham on Tuesday. We're not going to get anything up till Cade. And then whatever on Friday, we're getting we're probably gonna get some like very, very good packs. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about, well, just the game mode in general and what I think about it, the positives and the negatives, and the position that the game is in compared to the position the game was in last year. So anyway, lads, let's get on to it. This isn't gonna be as long as my very first one, because it's been very, very evident that 2K kind of drove away casuals, and that 2K kind of catered the game, especially at the start, towards like the ultimate grinders and nobody else. And it's in a rough spot. If you're in Europe right now, you know how rough this spot is, and if you're in Australia, you know how rough it is. If you're in America, you don't notice too much. There are times you might be waiting an hour for a game. So if you guys don't know, like my last clutch time game, I have 2 losses which were on video. I've been trying to find a clutch time game for this line with this lineup for an hour, and I haven't. Like right now it's late, like it's 3 a.m. right now, but like it was an hour and a half ago that I started looking. So I basically started looking at like half 1. At like half 1 to half 2 on this screen. Like I recorded a couple of videos for the DBG Docs channel, by the way. Go sub to that if you're interested. I'm doing something completely different because, well, my team's dead, so I might as well try something new. And I couldn't find a game. I was the only person in an entire continent, and not only Europe. The European servers are Europe, most of Africa, and half of Asia. So like there are a lot more people that are, obviously there are a lot less players than in America, but like out of a potential billion people, I was the only person on Xbox Next Gen for 1 entire hour searching on clutch time. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So the game mode is the most dead it's ever been in terms of like views. Obviously selfishly, when views down affects me badly, but at the same time, when views go down, it's because people aren't playing the game. Especially a lot of it is information-based content, and when people aren't looking for information-based content, people just aren't playing. There is a direct correlation there. It's not an exact science, but there is a correlation. But basically, we have got right here the best level 40 grind we've had. We've had a more than attainable level 40 grind. If you want to spend a lot of money, you could have got it done really quickly. Like, I'm going to get Scottie done. Don't worry, I'm getting Scottie done, because I stupidly locked in for players. I need, actually, by the way, in the last week of Limited, I need to get this one. I still haven't, well, I haven't played 3 GTO games since then, but like, I'm not going to get any of these really. I might just complete a couple of the Evos, but I own J.R. Smith, easy. I own Ratliff, can get that done pretty easily. And then, don't own any of these cards. But the ones that I can do very easily are these. So like these ones got you a whole bunch empty. I haven't done any of them. Like you can get all of these done in like 2 hours, and that's like 30,000 XP. And then we're gonna go to good old Season 1 Volume 3, and I own these 3 cards, so it's 10k. So like that's me already up to like 130. Like it's 10k for that, without even Tuesday's packs or Friday's packs, me up to 130, 140. I'm not playing quals, so I don't really care about getting Scottie in time, but I'll get Scottie. Level 40 grind was cool, attainable for people. If you played consistently throughout the season and you kept up with dailies and kept up with your week-long achievements, you got level 40. I don't have any issue with this. The Cade Cunningham grind, we've already talked about it, is the fact that it's original owner. I don't even mind that. Everyone's like, oh, it shouldn't be original owner, but I understand this. You can't just buy them at Amethyst and Evo them up. That makes perfect sense, and then sell them. So that would cause a little bit of a problem. But there's a really easy way to fix this, and it is by doing this. Instead of putting them behind a paywall. Like, I understand the logic being like, oh, we just don't want everyone to be able to get all the cards. And you're, okay, it's a bit shady, but like, still, like, all they have to do is literally this. You see these packs that are 15,000 VC, 15,000 VC, or 30,000 MT. Like, if somebody's paying 33 or 30,000 MT for a Sapphire, and then 30,000 MT for another Sapphire, and another Sapphire, the purpose is they want people to spend money. If you're draining all their MT, it's going to be the same outcome. Like, it's going to be the exact same outcome. So, I stand by that this is it's a horrible thing. That could have very easily been fixed by that, but I don't think 2K pulled that stunt again. I think they got enough backlash the first time it happened that I do not think the 2K pull a stunt like that again. So it is what it is. It was a bad situation. In terms of multiplayer, I really like Unlimited, except for, again, the stunt they tried to pull by like halving the Unlimited points. I know people are saying like, oh, but like everybody's completing these, like completing Unlimited right now. Do you know how many games it takes to complete Unlimited? So like I need to get 4 times what I've done right now. So if I keep going, again, of my 22 and 7, 3 of them have been I've logged in on player lock. So that they were 0 points. I didn't get anything from them. So 22 and 4 got me 6,100 points. So I need to get 4 times that. So that's like 100 games. I'm sorry, but like if you're playing over 100 games a season, look, it's probably with a really good record. Look, that's probably like it's hard to give extra prizes past that. Also, shout out to all the people who did do that though. Fair play to these guys playing the game. They have a leaderboard, and 2K have actually done a good job of banning the boosters. As much as people are annoyed by it, 2K have done a really good job banning the boosters. Clutch time online, the court's way too small. There's not enough time. The way the game's played this year, all you have to do is just get big Zadrunas, plant him in the key, and you're gonna win most of your games. It's a horrendous experience. Like I might get reset. Hopefully I don't. But like I'm completing clutch time online. This is gonna be my last centerpiece. This was the one I was gonna do this weekend. No, I'm miserable. I'm gonna chip away at it over the next week. Triple Threat Online is a miserable game mode. It is a miserable experience. The boards are so bad. There's a 0%. I've seen one person in a month even see the card. I've never seen anyone actually get the card because it's so hard to hit the ball drop spot. And you can't save ball drops anymore. This game mode is miserable. This game mode here is absolutely miserable. Clutch time offline, the AI are cracked. I don't care what anyone says. If you play, I'm playing this on All-Star. I'm doing the damn rookie glitch. So I'm playing against like scrub lineups. I'm playing against like weak lineups. And I'm doing the rookie glitch, and I'm still getting freaking popped by the AI every second game. Like on All-Star difficulty. I don't understand why All-Star difficulty this year is more difficult than Hall of Fame difficulty in other years. Like, my 2 housemates both are decent at this game. Like, if we play each other, I'll win 9 out of 10 times without beating me one of those 10 times. These are guys that back in the day would have regularly went like, sometimes gone 12-0, but like would have regularly gone 8-9-0 and Unlimited. These guys play on pro difficulty because they just can't play on All-Star. And that's the issue, is like whether I'm player locking or whether I'm using individual players, the only way to win is the same on All-Star and Hall of Fame, is by like kind of just glitching a jump shot in the corner. The CPU don't miss, and they also play this god tier defense, and then they just backcut. They freaking backcut you. Like the CPU knows that the AI is broken with backcuts. So like the CPU backcuts the CPU and gets a basket every single time because they throw these missiles that you can't steal. The CPU will backcut the CPU because the CPU reads that the CPU's defense can't guard backcuts. And if you're wondering, you're being like, oh, just change your defensive settings. Look at the defensive settings I play on. Look at the defensive settings that I freaking play on. I'm just saying. Where is it? Coach game plan. I play on moderate. Like, first of all, I need to turn cutter help off because I just need it. I keep doing that. But I play on moderate, and I get back. The AI backcuts me every time. So that's like a really difficult situation. And I'm just saying right now that like I'm 22-4 in Unlimited. I have 3 quits. I'm 22-4, and 2 of my losses were me using all gold cards. One of my losses was on day 1. And one of my losses was against a dude who was like 67-3 that I lost to in double overtime. Like, that's the way I've been this year. That's the level that I'm playing at this year. I'm playing at a really good level in terms of my team. And I struggle more against the All-Star difficulty CPU than I do against guys that have my team logos with 60-10 records. I struggle more against the All-Star CPU because you can't stop them. It's like player lock, non-player lock. They will just cut. They will just make every shot, and they will back cut on your AI every single time and they'll score. There's nothing you can do to stop it. TTO, the only reason that I'm able to win in TTO consistently is because I do that to the CPU. There's enough space that I walk down the floor with my point guard, stand in the middle of the key, hold triangle, and whichever player cuts, dunks it every single time. Like, that's the only reason I win in this game mode, because they back cut me and make every shot. Like, you can't even just farm offensive rebounds anymore, because against the user, you'll always get the offensive rebound. Against the CPU, they'll box you out every single time. The AI is absolutely cracked. Like there is no mediocre player at this game that's beating the AI. I know it was server delay, but I lost to Ty by like 3 this year. I lost to Tanaka by 4. Tanaka was like top 10 in the world at the time. He's one of the top 15 players in the world on Xbox. I lost him by 4. So like, I'm not in that top comp level, but I'm in that level just below comp, especially now that I got my post gods, and I can't beat the AI. So how the hell is a new player ever going to beat the AI at any difficulty above pro? The AI is just way too good on offense, and they're so bad on defense. Like, the AI can't guard back cuts. And then the AI is so good on offense that it reads and back cuts you. Anyway, AI rant over. Packs are the worst odds we've ever seen. It is pathetic. If you guys don't know, the last time I made this video, the odds on shades of packs had the exact same, except there was a 14% chance at a 90 or higher rated player. Now there's a 7% chance, meaning that there's a half the amount of amethysts on the market. And they're still quite cheap because, again, nobody's hyped on like Sean Livingston, even though he's the best point guard in the game. But it is what it is. The Destroyer packs, again, the odds on these are horrific. I advise nobody to open packs early in this game, even though these cards do go for a serious amount of MT, and I think it's going to happen throughout the year. Because MT is just, if you know what you're doing sniping wise, you can make 500k MT in an hour. Like people didn't believe me. I made 300k MT on this filter. On Friday. This filter on Friday made me so much MT, because on every refresh, I would get like, I'd buy all the golds, and the golds went from between 2,000 to 20,000 MT. There were some golds. Sometimes I sniped Jarrett Jack and Bino Udra, 2 of them and 1 refresh on each of them. I sold both my Jarrett Jacks for 11k, and I sold my Bino Udra for like a mad amount of MT. The annoying thing was that like I bought and sold them a bunch of times, and then I sniped the Trae Young for 100k, sniped Trae Young for 5 minutes. This is the year where like you can, if you know what you're doing, you can make, not even know what you're doing, if you're just persistent, because nobody realizes that every card has value this year. So like this 500 filter for the whole year, the 500 filter, you're selling every card for at least 1,000, 2,000 MT. You're obviously, it's the most dry filter in the game. But on Fridays, like you can make 200k MT in an hour. The only difference is that last year 200k MT, you would think, okay, I'm making 200k MT. Maybe I have a chance of getting the second best card in the set. Nah, you don't. You're paying 400k for a Kawhi Leonard that's barely better than this Kawhi Leonard. Then you're paying for Kevin Garnett, probably close to $1 mil. Garnett's brilliant, but like $1 mil. J.R. Smith, I bought him for like 110. Not like I overpaid. Kyrie sucks. And this Kawhi, again, barely better than the Amethyst. And you're looking at 100k for him. So like, 200k in this game is essentially worthless. It's so easy to make MT, but it's also going to cost you a hell of a lot to spend MT. And the issue is that if you're just playing the game, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so easy to make MT. It's really not if you're playing the game. So like, if you're just out here trying to play the game and trying to earn your way up by playing the game, it's going to take you 30 hours of playing this game to get a competent squad. Because I used to just say go out with gold players, and they were essentially free contracts wise anyway in TD offline, but I can go out with anyone. It is what it is. But like, for you to make a competent team, you need a lot of MT. So like, I built this team right here. This team's under 100k. This team's under 100k. Livingston, Crawford, Bone, Robert Ory, Powell, Ja, Larry Hughes, Jimmy, Scottie, and Theo Ralph. Like, this team right here is probably like 8k, 6k, 7k. So, okay, 30, 35k, 45, like it's about 55k maybe with the two starter cards. And like, this is like the best team you can get for like under 75k. And this isn't a very good team, not gonna lie, unless you are posting up for Sean Livingston. And the fact is, you can't even abuse Sean Livingston posting up because they can now switch somebody else that can defend on the Sean Livingston because you can't post up Crawford. So it's really, really tough to make budget squads in this game. It's really tough. Like 75k is still 10, 15 hours grinding this game mindlessly. So it's really, really hard. Like you can't log in anymore and go into the game and go 800 MT Cam Reddish. Like let's just say Takeover say, okay, I'm gonna run 800 MT Cam Reddish at small forward. I'm gonna run Gary Harris, who's 1000 MT, spend an hour evoing him up. Not even an hour evoing him up. Just use him at Ruby. He was Ruby Diamond, wasn't he? Yeah. Just get Gary Harris, play him at the 2. Okay, maybe I'm gonna go and get myself like Jameer Nelson, who was 50 hot badges, or even like Jalen Suggs to run the point guard position, because at least they're competent. Let me try to run those guys at the point. Even though I will say Jazz probably better than what those guys. Well, he's not better than Suggs, but he's better than what like Jameer Nelson, all those guys were. At the point. But you could get, and then let's say power forward center. I want to run 7-3 bigs if you're gonna look at. He was Halloween, wasn't he? Can't even remember who the centers were. Yeah, you know what? You were gonna spend a few minutes getting freaking, maybe Griffith. I can't even remember who the power forwards and centers were last year. Darius Miles, power forward, 3000 MT, and then just get someone else at center. And all of a sudden, you've got like 8k MT, and you can go into clutch. Well, the clutch doesn't exist, but like you can go into a game. Just get a few guys on the bench. You can go in and maybe have a chance at unlimited. Now you're kind of screwed. Tokens are good, but they have a big flaw, and it's like the only people that will ever benefit from the token market, it takes them too long to get tokens. So for example, like everyone's like, oh, it's so easy at tokens, we all have 600, but it's harder to go from 0 to 100 tokens than it is to go from 100 to 1000 tokens in this game, because it's all as you progress. And in the game modes that are easy to win for starters, you don't get anything. You get basically no tokens for this game mode right here. You get not many tokens here. Like 50 for 40 wins in this game mode. That's nothing. That's nothing. Like you get barely any tokens for this, and 1 token mostly in every game. So basically, yeah, that is kind of a big flaw, is that like the guys starting off the game that will benefit most in the token market, it's very difficult to get a lot of tokens for those guys. As well as that, challenges are cool. I like them. I haven't completed these. They're all doable. You get the pack in the end, and the pack is tradable, which I like. I like the challenges, but one thing that I'm really worried about is when Basketball Fundamentals goes, what the hell are we going to do in Season 2? Like, Basketball Fundamentals is gone in like 11 days. What the hell are we going to do? Like, we are all so reliant on these challenges that we don't even realize it. Like, in order to complete agendas, in order to complete Darren Williams and stuff, like these challenges, not even Darren Williams, Alexander Tuesday cards, we're all screwed. And I don't think anyone's noticed that. Unless they keep Basketball Fundamentals in, or even if they want to put it on pro difficulty, we're fine. Semi-pro is ideal for us. Pro difficulty, we can just about get away with it. But like these 12-minute quarter challenges at semi-pro, when they're gone, we are screwed. I'm telling you right now, people are not thinking about this enough. We are all screwed when these go. And yeah, in terms of the takeover grinds, look, if you're in Europe, don't even try. I'm being dead serious right now. If you're in Europe, don't even try. I'm gonna have TT offline completed. I'm gonna have TT offline completed, clutch time completed tomorrow on my account offline. Plus I'm online. You know what? I might get Kid. I might just go and mess about and get Kid, because I've got like a whole day tomorrow and like a lot of Wednesday to grind, because I'm trying to complete the trophy case cards this week, because I'm really busy next week. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do. I might just go and mess about and get Kid, because I'm like, because I only have 25 TTO games and 9 unlimited games. I'm like, you know what, that might be worth doing to get a card like Kid. But like, if you have a life and this isn't your full-time job, don't even try this. This is like, if you have a 50% win rate in games, which is fine, which is a fine win rate, then this is taking you 40 hours, 40 to 50 hours if you have a 50% win rate, like potentially 50 hours. So just don't even try. I really like the Tuesday grinds, and I don't care what anyone said. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, you're allowed to have your opinions. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm not changing my opinion. I really like what they did with Tuesday grinds. I really like the fact that the Tuesday grinds, this card took me 2.5 hours. I like the fact that you can get a card that is really damn good. And everyone switched up on Alex English. Even Splash is out here calling Alex English the best 2-guard in the game. I told everyone the second that he came out that he was going to be God. But like, Alex English is absolutely brilliant. And even Darren Williams wasn't even that bad. But the fact is, I would rather see a card like this that we have a chance of getting than a card that we don't have a chance of getting in like a Elgin Baylor, who took 10 hours. Like, that was a disaster. And I think 2K realized, because nobody got Elgin Baylor, that they were like, yeah, we kind of need to tone this back a little bit. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell was the best of these. We're going to talk about that card being one of the most iconic cards of this entire year. The issue with the Donovan Mitchell grind, is that 2K went out of the blocks too fast. They ran a 48-second, or they ran a 50-second 400-meter to start a mile run. Like, it's always you're always gonna fizzle out with that. And I think, had Mitchell been like the last Tuesday card, and then let's just say the first Tuesday card was Elgin Baylor, and people were grinding a lot for the first one maybe, and then we got like Darren Williams, and then we got, say, Alex English, and then more so at the end with Donovan Mitchell. I understand, because Donovan Mitchell was initial hype. Maybe put in like Alex English, this 2-hour grind, as the first Tuesday takeover card, and people wouldn't really hyped over that, in my opinion, because, well, he would have been God on week 2, and for like 2 hours everyone would have been freaking hyping the living daylight out of this guy. And then suddenly we get Mitchell to end the season for that type of grind, and then it's like people gradually going up and up and up and up, and then they hit their crescendo. Whereas the issue is that like we got Mitchell, which was like the best card in the game, and then we got a bum in Elgin Baylor, so we went from super high to super low. And then as well as that, with the Baylor situation, it was around the same time as we were getting nothing to do in the trophy case rewards as RNG. So you can see why people are a little bit annoyed. In terms of trophy case cards, I think that it just was bad. I actually really like the idea. Good idea, bad execution. And let me explain why. So, most people, up until 4 days ago, had 1 trophy case card. Now most people have 4. I don't like how we go from 1 to 4 in the space of like 2 days. Or in the space of like 3-4 days. Like on Thursday, when they released, everyone was so happy that we were able to get a second one. And then by Sunday, most people that really grind this game. I have 2. I'm probably gonna get all 5 of Jimmy's ones. But like, people are RNG off Jimmy. People have gotten AD. Like, people are getting these cards straight away. So I'm like thinking to myself, and I'm like, I think they could have paced it out a lot better. So a lot of people are saying it as well, being like, oh, but like, if they gave us them all at the start of the season, there'd be a problem. And I agree with that as well. So for me anyway, the end point this season is everyone who grinds out everything will be able to get 5. And like, that is the end point. I just think that trying to reach that end point of everyone getting them in week 1, and then RNG for 4 weeks, and then everyone gets the other 4 in the space of 7 days. I'm like, I just don't feel like that was the best way they could have done it. What I think they should have done was maybe ran through agendas where at the end of week 1, you were able to get 1. At the end of week 2, you were able to get a second one. At the end of week 3, a third one, 4, a fourth one, 5, a fifth one. Or even maybe week 1, we were able to get rows, and then a gap week, and then 1 a week for every week. So then at the end of the season, we're in the exact same position as we're in right now, being like, okay, we have 5. 250k quals, we have our opal. But instead of that, I think we just had mindless grinding, hoping for RNG, people getting pissed off at 14 out of 15, and those guys all just getting 4 of them at once. And I think just being able to like choose 1, and then after a week you get like another one, so then you have 2 for a while in your squad, and then after a week, if you've been grinding, you get a third one, then okay, I've got that card in my squad, what can I do? And then at the end of week 4, getting a 4th one, being able to build your squad around that, rather than what ended up happening of people having 1 in their lineup for so long, and then 3 days later they've got 4, and their whole lineup is trophy case cards out of nowhere. So it's gone from like 1 trophy case card to a whole lineup of trophy case cards like that. I think it could have been paced out a lot better, and I also think the huge dip that the game took after week 2 So like the game always starts off at a high and takes a dip, takes a nosedive in terms of like player base. But because I think of the RNG grind and the whole game being based around trophy cases that we actually couldn't specifically grind for, I think that nosedive took a way bigger nosedive than it should have in terms of player base. And again, a lot of you guys are saying, why do I keep talking about player base? Because I live in a continent where the lack of players severely affects my not only enjoyment of the game, it severely affects my ability to make content and do my job. I'm like this close to VPNing and playing on US servers and playing on delay for the year. Like, if this doesn't get better in the next 3 weeks, I'm VPNing. I'm going Ethernet cable from my Xbox into my PC and VPNing to America. I'm playing on a VPN. Like, I'll play on delay because I just need to play the game. So I think a lot of decisions. I think everything in this game though is good idea, bad execution. Well, I think a lot of it is good idea, bad execution. And a lot of people are like, oh, these things saved my team. I do actually think that 2K giving us a lot more like token cards or trophy case cards over the weekend really did help. All of those unlimited challenges, those other challenges, I think they really, really did help. And for me, I'm just like, they wouldn't have had to have given us all of it at once if they just paced it out a little bit better. But at the same time, we're at the same endpoint. So like from this position that we're in right now, I think we're at the exact same endpoint. We're at the exact same point now as we would have been with better pacing. It's just we wouldn't have had that absolute nosedive where this game was essentially impossible to play in Europe. Like, again, last Tuesday I took 3.5 hours looking for a game and I couldn't find one, which was really, really bad. To be fair, I did spend an hour or 2 of those 3.5 hours searching in TTO, but still, half an hour in Unlimited, half an hour in Plus I'm Online, an hour and a half in TTO. Like, it was actually 2.5 hours. What am I talking about? 2.5, like 3.5. 2.5 hours searching for a game, couldn't find one. So I think maybe there are more players in the game right now, but like it's been a bit of a grim start to the year, and regardless of how much people are enjoying, a lot of people are enjoying it. It's very clear that this game mode doesn't have the kind of player base that it had previously, but I do think there's time to fix that throughout the year. In terms of gameplay wise, I think it's 2K18 with green or miss. I think there's no paint defense at all. I've lost games to 75% layups going in. You're wide open and it says you're heavily contested. You're heavily contested and it says you're wide open. The game doesn't make sense. The AI still can't guard back cuts in 2022, but they put them back in the game for some reason. I mean, it helps me beat the CPU, so I'm not complaining too much about it. Paint mashing is the most broken thing we have ever seen in my team, and you better believe I'm abusing the hell out of that with my post-main lineup. Green or miss. I mean, one good thing with green or miss, the green window's bigger, so if you actually can time your shots, you can green consistently. I green consistently with Alex English and Sean Livingston, and they got 60 ratings. So like, there is things for that. Green or miss really, if you're good at this game, green or miss really helps you, because a lot of the time, unless your internet's bad, you're hitting your shots, and then if you're bad at this game, green or miss is gonna make you quit. I think gameplay is, as far as next gen gameplay is, I think the more I play it, the more I will say it's not a bad basketball game, don't get me wrong. It's the worst gameplay I've ever experienced in my team next gen, but I really thought 2K21 next gen was nearly a masterpiece, and I didn't mind 2K22 that much. I thought 2K22 wasn't the worst game in the world, whereas I thought and I love 2K21 next gen, but this game is better than 2K. It's better than 2K21 current gen, better than 2K18, but worse than 20. It's in the, I think I would put this gameplay wise in like the bottom 3, because like the more I watch play, I mean, you might say all this gameplay is great, and if you enjoy this gameplay, please, you don't have to listen to like what I'm saying. This is just my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion based on what you say. You should not change your opinion based on what I say. But for me, the more that I play against guys that know what they're doing, the more that this game is just it's laughable, some of the stuff that happens in this game. Like, it is legitimately laughable. Like, I've shot 3-pointers and someone pressed triangle under the basket and swiped on air and it was an 8% contest. And I'm like, he's literally in the key. He's in the key. I'm like, I'm at the 3-point line. He's in the key. How the hell can he contest that shot? He's not Victor Wembanyama out there, and still not even Victor can contest that from that distance. But like, yeah, so the more I play, the more the game becomes, the more I play, the more others play, the more it becomes a case of who the hell can exploit the game better and who paint matches better. who runs to the basket better and draws fouls. And I hate the argument of, oh, it's the player base's fault. No, like, if we could actually play interior defense, like, if you jump, press triangle, and swipe through the ball, and that was more than a 10% contest, like, it would help. Like, paint defense, I went back and tried to paint mash in 2K20 against Jacob last year, and it just didn't work. Paint mashing was not as OP till 2K22, and paint mashing is more OP this year. The fouls, the way they've done fouls is poor. Defense, I love the fact, in terms of defense, the no cutter help is a huge bonus because it kind of stops corners from dropping. And like mashing no longer forces the corners to drop, thankfully, but AI still can't get back cuts. It's been a decade, they still can't get back cuts. As far as basketball games go, I don't think it's a bad game. The only issue is that when two players who know how to exploit the game come up against each other, and that's really how we have to judge online gaming by, is how we can't judge as my team players 2K based on how it looks when I'm playing with the Nets, you're playing with the Celtics, and we're just playing. And we're just playing on the couch playing. Like, every single 2K has been a masterpiece if that's what we're judging it by. We have to judge online gameplay based on player A exploiting the game and player B exploiting the game, because that's what it turns into after about a month. And in terms of actual player A and player B exploiting the game, it is the worst game. It is maybe the worst gameplay I've ever seen. And then I know Sim Nation's like, oh, we can run plays, we can do all of this stuff. You know what? If you want to do that, more power to you. I'm posting up your point guard with Sean Livingston and drop stepping him and scoring every single basket, because I don't give a damn about playing sim basketball. If the game's gonna let me score every single possession in the post, I'm scoring every single possession in the post. I could not care less about hashtag SimNation, lads, because you know what? Who cares about hashtag SimNation? Because the postmen always deliver. The postmen always freaking deliver, lads. Anyway, yeah, that's the video. Just my opinion. I think by the end of the year, it's going to be pretty good. I think gameplay, it could be an absolute disaster, but at the same time, has 2K ever been a good game when two players who just exploit the gameplay against each other? I don't think it has. But I think as a game mode, I think they're kind of picking it up. I think I don't think Season 1 was planned out well enough. I really don't think the Season 1 was planned out well enough from the start onwards. I think because of the fact that Baylor grind to Darren Williams grind, there was so big of a gap in the time. I think there was obviously a little bit of panic there. They realized what they were doing wasn't working. And I think that in that 2-week spell after the first initial hype, the first share of the case wore off, then we got Baylor and then pay to win, pay to use cards. I think that 2 weeks kind of killed a lot of the hype that 2K23 went in with. Momentum-wise, hype-wise, the game's kind of dead, but at the same time, it's kind of dead this time every year. It's a lot lower this year than normal. But I'm kind of optimistic. I'm optimistic. Like, I'm completely burnt out as far as content creation goes. I'm looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm trying to find ways to get enjoyment out of this again. I'm just gonna be memeing budget cards the whole year. Using the postman is fun, I'm not gonna lie. Just abuse. Nobody can guard me. It's fun playing a tactic that nobody else plays, even though it's the most overpowered tactic in the game. I'm kind of having a little bit of fun trying to just think of new things. And I'm burnt the hell out, but at the same time, it's the reason why I stopped streaming. It's the reason why I really stopped tweeting. But at the end of the day, for the 3-4 videos you see on this channel and a couple of videos you see on the DPG2 channel, I'll always have enough energy to show up to work. This is my job. YouTube is my job. Maybe I don't have the energy for the other things, but I'm gonna stick with this no matter what. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys agree with, what you guys disagree with, and please in the comment section, if you guys want to have some sort of civil discussions about the game, please do. Unfortunately, again, I probably won't read comments. Obviously, not gonna lie, not the most motivated. I'm burnt out. I don't want to read 25 comments being like DBG's dead, DBG's a dead channel. Oh, remember when DBG wasn't dead? Like, I'm not really in the mood to read that, so I probably won't be reading comments. But lads, if you guys want to have a discussion, feel free, because no two people's opinions on this game are going to be the same. I don't expect anyone to have the exact same opinion as me, just like you guys should not expect me to change my opinion based on popular demand. I think the game is in a bad spot. I don't think the game mode of my team is bad. I just think it was kind of, I think season 1 wasn't planned for too well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.